Finland, a country of a population of just over 5.5 million, bordering Sweden, Norway and Russia in northern Europe. And there are 180,000 recorded lakes in this amazing country, many of which will freeze over for outdoor recreational skating. But here we are in Helsinki, heading towards the ice hall for the indoor skating event, which will comprise some of the best figure skaters in the world. The ice hall was built back in 1966, some 58 years ago. And during that time, it has primarily been the venue for ice hockey, another incredibly popular sport in Finland. However, it did previously hold the Finnish Grand Prix for figure skating in 2018. And many of the skaters remarking upon how delighted they are to be back in this city to compete once more, appreciative of the warm and encouraging audience that were here yesterday to support the first day of competition. And now we look ahead to day 2 of coverage and the opportunity to see the medals being decided in the men's and women's events. And then finally today, the start of the ice dance competition. And in this arena of over 8,000 seat capacity, some incredibly famous musicians have performed, including Stevie Wonder and the Beach Boys, and we'll hear some of their music performed in the final event of the day in the ice dance rhythm dance. But first, it will be the men's event. Eagerly anticipate getting closer to understanding which top 6 men in the world this season will achieve qualification to compete at the Grand Prix final, which takes place in Grenoble in France next month. And shortly we will see the starting order for this men's free skate, which is based on the results of the short program yesterday, with skaters starting in reverse order of the result after day 1 of competition. And in this men's event, we have a number of the men who potentially could go on to achieve one of those six spots at the final. But as we have seen throughout the season, both in the Grand Prix and in the Challenger Series, that the men have been notoriously inconsistent, with results being vastly different from short program to free skate. Very sad to see the withdrawal of Junwan Cha, the Korean skating star. Hopefully we'll have some more information as to the reason behind his withdrawal, but we sincerely hope that he is okay. He was one of the contenders to take a possible spot at the Grand Prix final in France. As we see the judges, who will be inputting the grades of execution for the elements in the men's free skate, and there lower down the technical controller and the 2 technical specialists who, as a group of 3 in that technical panel, have to come to decisions upon the levels of the steps, spins and calls on the rotation of the jumps. As we see Camden Pulkinen and his coach Alex Johnson just getting ready to be introduced to the arena in Helsinki. Shout out to Teresa Marca, back of shot, part of the ISU social media team, who captures some wonderful shots of the skaters in and around this arena. First skater Valtter Virtanen, followed by compatriot Makar Suntsev. And then to Camden Pulkinen, Vladimir Samoilov from Poland. And now, finally, in this group, due to the withdrawal of Junwan Cha, Aleksandr Selevko from Estonia will be the final competitor. The ground announcer just acknowledging medical reasons behind the withdrawal of Junwan Cha, former world medalist who has battled injury last season, and we had heard from him that his schedule for this 2024-2025 season had been intense and he'd been very busy with competitive events, and we just Hope that that rigorous schedule of competition hasn't re-injured anything. Find out more and keep you updated as soon as we can. But first, we look to celebrate the participation in this event of Valtter Virtanen as we see him working some rotational exercises, just making sure that his body weight feels over his right side for maximum efficiency in the important jumping passes in his free skate. 2 new programs this year for Valtter Virtanen, trying to show different sides to his skating in his 20th year as a senior competitor. And then to Makar Suntsev, a recent move to the city of Espoo because he started studying a degree in business. A recurring theme that we hear from many of the men is they juggle either academics or working pursuits with their competitive aspirations. And Makar will use the same free program that he used last season. But it's a new free skate for America's Camden Pulkinen. He's wanted to skate to this music for a very long time. Such a wonderful skater. So many subtle nuances in his movement that are really appreciated by the educated skating community. But as we're seeing in warm-up, struggling to be competitive technically, just working through triple loop and just a couple of passes there suggesting he's not feeling 100% comfortable. And again there for Camden, neither the loop or the flip working. He has had lots of experience, so hopefully he can draw upon that as he gets ever closer to the competition. Next skater, Vladimir Samoilov. The 25-year-old who's been representing Poland since 2021.
He is 25 years old.
Such an incredibly fast and powerful skater. He opened his short program with a huge quadruple salto. And there, the triple axel looking comfortable for Vladimir.
Aleksandr on 23-vuotias opiskelija Tallinnasta.
And the final skater in this group, Aleksandr Selevko, the 23-year-old Estonian.
Mihail on myös kansainvälisen tason taitoluistelija. Aleksandr is 23 years old student from Tallinn, Estonia. His hobby is playing piano. Selevko's younger brother Mihail
the ground announcer acknowledging Aleksandr Selevko
figure skating as well.
Is from our hometown in Tallinn. And interestingly, his brother currently competing there, has just finished competing there. The Tallinn Trophy, one of the ISU Challenger Series events, has just taken place. And the men's event there, as volatile and unpredictable as so many of the competitions that we've seen this season on the men's circuit, with results ranging vastly. And indeed, Alexander's brother, Mikhail Selevko, won the short program, but then finished 11th in the free skate to conclude the event in 9th place overall. And it's these kind of results that we are seeing repeatedly and regularly in the men's event. Adam Xiaohemfa, earlier this year at the World Championships in Montreal, showcased the biggest jump in standings, I think from 19th to 3rd at the World Championships. And then he repeated a similar kind of leap in the standings 2 weeks ago in Angers. But what Adam has done seems to be fashionable at present, with many men making vast or huge leaps up or down the rankings between the short program and the free skate. What we do hope in this final minute is that the men can feel comfortable on the ice and replicate some personal bests. Good to see there, I think, Valtter Virtanen working through quad toe. And the same for Aleksandr Selevko as Makar Suntsev lines up triple lutz. Double toe, and that triple lutz looks lofty enough in airtime to potentially become a quad in the future for Makar. And their coach and wife, actually, just going to the back of shot, Alina Makar, the coach and wife of Valtter Virtanen, and they are doing such a good job at trying to promote Finnish skating, and they have an international training camp with skaters now from all over Europe, which is somewhat unique in Finland. So the first 6-minute warm-up of the second day of competition is complete, and 4 men will vacate this Olympic-sized ice rink as Valtter heads to his wife for some final words of encouragement.
From Finland, Valtter Virtanen.
Well, yesterday wasn't the optimal day for Valtter Virtanen. He's previously been recognised and renowned for showcasing consistency in the short programme. Hopefully, he can return to some semblance of consistency for this, his free skate. Valiant effort at quad toe for Valtter. But just popping the triple lutz into a single. That's the jump combination he missed in the short programme, a comfortable triple toe, triple toe. Oh, wonderful choreo sequence from the spiral to the Ina Bauer. home nation skater Valtter Virtanen completes his free skate in a difficult performance, a skate that seemed to have lacked conviction in regards certainly to the jumping passes for Valtter. And where he seemed slightly lacking in commitment to the jumping passes, you do sense the appreciation for his choreography or his connection with continuing to push himself in terms of the presentation and the composition. It just didn't seem connected to the jumping passes. And this his 20th season as a senior skater competing internationally, and to maintain the level of focus necessary and desires has to be challenging, as we see the quad toe attempt in this, the best of the jumping passes in the program, the triple toe, which achieved a rousing applause from his wife. But here, just tight, and then from the triple loop, intending a double axel, just a 1 foot single axel, but better that time with the second of the two triple loops. Interestingly, Valtter acknowledging that he wants to inspire our younger generation to keep skating longer, and also his wife mentioning that our sport is more than just medals. So very true. But of course, whilst medals may not be within his consideration, he would have been hoping to represent close to a personal best. Personal best for Valtter, 135 last season. As he continued to escalate and keep, even in this relatively late stage of his senior international career, continued to push his personal bests, but this not anywhere close to that, unfortunately. Valtter, though, in his competitive appearance, has so much to juggle, working as a doctor, team doctor for the Finnish hockey team in the highest league in Finland, the JYP. He and wife Elina have a 3-year-old daughter, Leah. And that surely makes fitting in the necessary training time a challenge in the rich life that he has. But right now, he may have been hoping to have been able to devote a little bit more time to the preparation for his participation at Finlandia Trophy 2024.
Valtter Virtanen from Finland has earned in the free skating 108.97 points.
So it's 108.97 for Valtter. Not a score that he wants to look up to see, and we wish him all the very best for the remainder of the season, and hopes that he can continue to push personal bests with each passing season.
On the ice representing Finland, Makar Suntsev.
So from one Finnish men's skater to another, 17 years his junior, 20-year-old Makar Suntsev. His free program the same as that of last year. And the geisha and the samurai. choreography sequence where Makar absolutely excels. Looking reignited that time with the triple flip double axel sequence. Fall on the second of the triple flips. Finland's Makar Suntsev completes his free program. The concept behind this performance, that he is a samurai fighting for important things, and his consideration of the theme and the stylization continues right through to his bow to the audience, where so many Finnish flags are waved in support of the university student from Espoo. And Makar, mixed blessings pertaining to the jumping passes within this performance, but he does have some real command of the blade in regards to skating skills and some good musicality throughout. And whilst this program is in its second season, he hasn't lost his connection to it. Sometimes when a skater uses a program for 2 consecutive seasons, it can get stale. As we see the double axel into the Euler, stepping up into triple salchow. The technical content for Makar, well delivered, but of less difficulty than many of those yet to compete. Triple Lutz, great elevation, followed up by the double toe. So again, confirmation that the planned program content for Makar, as his coach applauds ringside, not as difficult as that of others. And you can see there a missed pick on the takeoff of that. The intended second triple Lutz forces him to double out. But this, quite wonderful. The ability to have an outside edge on the Ina bar, so difficult, requiring so much turnout of the hips. As you see the triple flip, double axel. So as I mentioned in the short program, Makar recently relocating, so some huge life changes as he pursues his degree in business in Espoo. And I'm sure he's been having to work hard to reacclimatize to a different training environment and schedule between his studies and his training. And perhaps that's the reason behind maintaining the same choreography season upon season. But hopefully, over the course of this next 12 months, he'll be able to add triple axel and quads to his planned program content to back up some of the skating skills quality he has.
Has earned in the free skating 120.90 points.
So it's 120.90, and Makar Suntsev comes out as the top-ranked Finnish men's skater in the Finlandia Trophy 2024.
Thank you. Next to skate represents the United States of America, Camden
So a fist pump from coach for Camden Pulkinen, the 24-year-old American skater. He said he has wanted to skate to this music for such a long time. We saw a difficult warm-up for Camden. Hopefully some good words imparted to him from coach Alex Johnson to ensure that this next performance delivers with a strong tech score in addition to his program components. Safe start, triple axel, Euler double salcho. Just popping open the triple lutz into a single. Comfortable triple lutz. Wonderful transition within the choreo sequence in this, where you can sense his love for the music. America's Camden Pulkinen. Just so difficult to try to process how best to move forward for Camden at this stage. His quality, indisputable, fundamentally really good skater with good jump technique as well. Just what is preventing him from finding his comfort zone to be able to deliver, unclear at this stage. And he'd said that he feels empowered by the ownership he's taking in his future by juggling his busy job in the financial district. And there, how endearing to see him show gratitude towards the flower girl and to the audience as he leaves the ice. Camden did acknowledge that whilst he's incredibly busy now working and training at present, that might not be what he chooses to do in the next season, in the Olympic year, if he's to fulfill his ambition of making the US Olympic team for 2026 Milano Cortina. Triple axel into the Oiler, just a double salcho, and originally, or he intended a quad toe to start, which we've seen him do regularly and repeatedly. But the double salcho was followed by a single Lutz, and now just that step out of the triple axel. So none of the jumping passes looking particularly comfortable, and we saw that in the warm-up. And in defense of Camden, actually this performance was better than we did see in the warm-up about 20 minutes ago, where he was able to show some of that wonderful running edge that he does have on the triple Lutz. But then, unfortunately, the next triple Lutz attempt turned into a double. There, the triple flip double axel. This highlight of the program, the choreo sequence. Cut short there. I think Alex would have enjoyed seeing that repeated rather than perhaps some of those jumping passes.
The scores, please.
So he was 12th of the 12 men 2 weeks ago at the Grand Prix de France.
Has earned in the free skating
So 130.84 for Camden today.
His total competition score is 195.18 points, which brings him currently
Wish him
in the first
every
place.
positive energy
Thank you.
for the rest of the season as he heads towards US Nationals, hopefully replicating some of the success we've seen from him before.
Next skater is from Poland, Vladimir Samoilov.
And now to Vladimir Samoilov. His new free skate has a concept to show power and how strong we are no matter how far we have fallen. Vladimir will skate to lay my body down. Effortless quad Lutz to start. Amazing opening for Vladimir.
All I'm looking for is a little bit more rope to wrap around my throat. I'm in trouble. And all I'm gasping for is one last breath of hope.
Such a daring entry, the inside spread eagle into what was planned to be a quad salcho turning into a double.
When you lay my body down, and you throw me in the ground.
Just looking back at the ice there in reaction to that Waxel takeoff.
My body down, when I'm buried in the ground. Say your prayer, your Don't shed a tear for me. Turn your heart to the trail. Don't shed a tear. Don't shed a tear for me.
A real ease through those two triple-triple combinations back to back. Poland's Vladimir Samoilov is a skater who has so many of the attributes to be incredibly successful. That opening quad lutz was just incredible. Over 14 points on that one element. And then laterally throughout the program, some intricacies in the choreography, good use of body movement, and early in this performance, a speed and ice coverage that was in contention for top group. Consistency, as ever, in the men's event is elusive, but I think also perhaps it's the viruses that Vladimir suffered from last month which have prevented him having the stamina to maintain the higher PCS scores through the latter stage. You can see understandably exhausted, and for those that haven't ever done a senior men's free skate, it's hard to really detail the utter exhaustion that it takes, but particularly painful to endure when you haven't had, or when you've missed out on weeks of training at this point in the competitive season. You can see here, engaged with his current, this quad lutz, 1, 2, 3, 4, with a running edge, with turned out free foot, but unfortunately couldn't follow up that opening wonderful quad lutz with a quad salcho. And here, not quite a waxel takeoff, but a hideous feeling again for the non-skaters. Indeed, for the skaters watching, they will all know how horrible it feels to have that kind of takeoff happen. And effectively, Vladimir did well to compartmentalize that and move on to still deliver 3 jump combos later in the program. Again, a very all-rounded skater when we see the flexibility that he showcased in the spin feature at the end of the program, and emotional commitment as coach Angelina joins him in the kiss and cry.
The scores, please. Vladimir Samoilov from Poland has earned in the free skating
140.01 for Vladimir.
best. His total competition score is 205.47 points.
So he the first skater to cross the 200-point marker total score.
Thank you.
And we wish him all the best as he heads towards the Warsaw Cup and the Golden Spin as his next events.
Next to skate from Estonia, Aleksandr
And now to
Selevko.
23-year-old Aleksandr Selevko, who incidentally in this his second Grand Prix of the season is returning to last year's free skate. The new tango that he performed previously, not fully comfortable for him, and electing to return to the music by Havasi for this performance. Good quad toe for opening movement. Loved this step sequence last season, and it's not lost any of its quality. Triple loops and two double axles. Such energy towards the end of the performance for Aleksandr Selevko from Estonia. Since we last saw him 2 weeks ago in Angers in France, he has elected to return to last season's free skate, and probably a wise tactical decision. The new free program, the tango that he performed a fortnight ago on the Grand Prix series, he likes, he enjoys, he recognizes the potential it has, but just didn't feel that it was ready to compete again on this stage. And so perhaps we'll see him return to that later as the season progresses, but certainly on this occasion it appears it was a smart investment, because despite not training this as readily, you could see the energy and the comfort that he had in the transitions today that he didn't have 2 weeks ago. As we look back at the opening quad toe, comfortably done. Then in this planned program content, he wanted back-to-back quadruple jumps. Last week he was intending to do the second quad in the second half of the free skate to accrue a higher base value, but mindful of the fact that this series of jumping passes in this order is more comfortable for him. Just a shame there to see the triple axel mistake, and then the second triple axel turning into single, but thinking on his feet and making sure that there was a triple toe in the back of it. Wonderful hydroglide as part of the choreo sequence. And I do believe Aleksandr is partly responsible for the new difficult blade feature within the spins that the skaters have the choice to perform now. He demonstrated that so brilliantly last season, and now it's an option for all of the skaters this year as they continue to try to work with the new criteria required for the level 4. Aleksandr, although had all that conviction at the end of the performance, looks understandably exhausted as he sits in the kissing cry with coach Irina Kononova.
The scores, please.
So it was 140 2 weeks ago, it's 147.79. Today,
which is a new season's best. His total competition score.
Interestingly though, components for this event lower than 2 weeks ago, so perhaps the judge is sending a signal that they prefer the tango, but he leads by almost 10 points at this stage as we head towards the next group. So Aleksandr will look to see what happens above as to whether or not he can move up in the standings as we head towards seeing the next group of 6 men.
Skaters in this group are from Italy,
Daniel Grassl from Italy opens the group,
Lukas Britschgi,
followed by Swiss skating star Lukas Britschgi,
Sota Yamamoto,
and then to Sota Yamamoto
Aymoz,
before the top 3 compete. Kevin Aymoz, Kazuki Tomono,
from Japan, Yuma Kagiyama,
and then the quite sublime Yuma Kagiyama to round out the men's event. So there we can see the scores following the men's short program, with Yuma Kagiyama having a comfortable lead after his brilliant performance yesterday.
Hän on 22-vuotias.
Daniel Grassl, following that 12-month ban, back to competition now after missing those doping tests. But interestingly, Daniel seems rejuvenated now, back returning to the ice. He wasn't able to get back on the ice till July, so his duration of preparation for this competitive season so short relatively. But despite that physical preparation, he seems reignited in his enthusiasm, having acknowledged the post-Olympic struggles after the Beijing Olympics 2022.
Harjoittelee Oberstdorfissa Saksassa. Hänen harrastuksiinsa kuuluu jalkapallo ja
Lukas Britschgi.
Lukas is 26 years old student and he is practicing in Oberstdorf, Germany. His hobbies are football and tennis.
Confirmation from the ground announced that Lukas trains in the International Skating Union Center of Excellence in Oberstdorf, Germany. A place synonymous with quality skating at the highest level.
Sotan harrastuksiin kuuluu saunominen.
And then to Sota Yamamoto.
Hän harjoittelee Japanissa ja on kokopäiväinen urheilija.
Wonderful to hear the concept behind the free skate and the choice by famed choreographer Lori Nicol.
He is practicing in Japan and is a full-time athlete. Sota is
he will skate to Melting by Nico Cartozio and Sonia De Volar.
Japan. Kevin on 27-vuotias urheilija.
And then to Kevin Aymoz,
Ranskassa sekä Yhdysvalloissa.
Kevinin another skater who we have seen working through some challenging performances, but so far this season he seems to be showcasing more consistency, and the rationale behind that is because he says he is skating for himself. So often the skaters will be so mindful of the demands and requirements of the federation or the governing body, or indeed to showcase their improvement as thanks to the coaches and the parents and all that support them. But now Kevin here skating for himself. And then to Kazuki Tomono. The hip injury that he endured almost a month ago seems to be relatively at bay, but the free skate, much more challenging endurance.
He's practicing in Osaka, Japan.
But he does have a over 5.5 point lead above Kevin Aymoz, which helps make the silver seem fairly secure. But certainly the title seems incredibly secure for Yuma Kagiyama, having pushed over 13 points higher than anybody else yesterday. Somewhat a sense that Yuma Kagiyama's participation in Helsinki at this event is very much more about scores in relation to others worldwide, rather than necessarily just winning back-to-back Grand Prix events after winning the NHK Trophy last week in Tokyo.
2012 World Championship. Yuma Kagiyama!
Just popping out on the quad flip. That will be his most difficult jumping pass planned. There, Daniel Grassl just gesturing towards his knee. Hope he's okay. Again, no further confirmation as to the severity of the reason behind Junhwa Cha's withdrawal. We're just told that an injury has prevented him from continuing in the event. So we continue to send all our very best wishes. Junhwa Cha, such a brilliant skater. Whilst it was just a double axel, that double axel from Kevin Aymoz was quite beautiful. That is the delicate balance for the men as to whether or not they have increased difficulty of planned program content, risking more point scoring, versus skating with a more guarded, safe planned program content, but showcasing more quality. look back to
Skaters, your warm-up
the
has
past few
ended.
Olympic
Please
champions
leave
in this
the ice.
discipline who have absolutely showcased both. Nathan Chen, Yuzuru Hanyu, two of the greatest ever to compete, absolute masters of both the program component score and the technical element score. As we see Eduardo de Bernardi just giving final inspiration
Next to skate
and confirmation
from
of the necessary
Italy,
technique
Daniel Grassl.
to Daniel Grassl. Daniel loved Billy Elliot, both the film and the musical, and he said that this represents him. Billy Elliot loved to dance, Daniel loved to skate. Billy Elliot in the film feels free when he dances, and Daniel feels like a bird, he said, when he skates, as he flies through this performance, which has 3 quads scheduled as the first 3 jumping passes.
Can I just ask you, Billy, what does it feel like when you're dancing?
Flying like a bird.
Quadlets to open. Followed up by quad loop. Just a question mark about the amount of rotation at the end of the jump. And that is his new quad jumping pass this season, quad salcho. Again, just a question mark over the rotation at the end of the jump.
Let's start with elementary balance. Long leg, stretch, point, flex, in foot, behind. Fondue, lift the leg, eyes front. Turn out, cruise. You were born to react. You were made to behave like you will in the rain. When the music is playing, your soul will be swaying, and your feet, they will move. But only to prove that it wasn't by chance you were destined to dance.
Daniel just ticking off each of the jumping passes comfortably. Well, Italy's Daniel Grassl makes a statement to prove that last week's event at the NHK Trophy in Tokyo was no fluke. Again, another incredibly strong performance, which could take him ever closer to the personal best scores that he had back at the Olympic Winter Games in 2022. And it's really a fascinating example of the psychology of sport. He acknowledged after that Olympic Winter Games in 2022 that nothing was working for him. There were struggles in practice, coaching changes as he grasped for an answer to try to reignite the inspiration for training. Then, because of those missed doping tests, was off the ice for such a prolonged period, and now comes back with a whole seemingly fresh new perspective as we see that opening quad lutz, which maybe had a little bit short in rotation as Eduardo looks on. Here's the loop. And here the salcho. And again, I question the rotation a little bit on the landing there of that salcho, but what's amazing about that is that that's a new quadruple jump to him that he didn't perform when he was at his best a couple of seasons ago. So in the short space of time that he's returned to the ice, he's worked hard to be physically fit enough to get through a 4-minute performance, and adding difficulty that he didn't previously use.
Long leg.
And kudos to Eduardo, the coach, Eduardo de Bernardi, who said that they just had a few months to get his jumps back, make new choreography, get him in condition to compete, and that it was hard work, but the hard work obviously made easier because of the renewed desire. So last week, Daniel scored a 181.84 at the NHK Trophy. His personal best from the Olympic Winter Games is 187.
The scores, please. Daniel Grassl from Italy has earned in the free skating 180.
Accepting of that is shy of last week, but still a consistency that we aren't seeing in the men's event by too many athletes.
Currently in the first place.
As Daniel Grassl takes a 44-point lead of anybody else with a 2:58.55.
On the ice, representing Switzerland, Lukas Britschgi.
And now to Lukas Britschgi. 26 years of age, another skater who competed just a fortnight ago in Angers. He performs to Lux, Deeply and Aero. Quad toe, triple toe to start. And Lukas has a second quad toe planned. But it turns into a double. Good ice coverage through the triple axel and the 2 double axel sequence. Huge triple lutz, but just a double toe on the end of that. Well, he pounds the ice with his fist as Lukas Britschgi skates a much better free skate than a fortnight ago. In Angers, there were 3 falls. Here, much cleaner skate. He would have been hoping for 2 quad toes, just 1 on this occasion, but nevertheless, a big step forwards for the Swiss national champion. And he did say following the short program that practices have been much better, and last week he had the best practices that he's had all season as he continues to keep that niggling knee injury at bay. And now great to see him be able to showcase a little bit of the quality that took him towards the top 5 twice at European Championships over the past couple of seasons as Michael waits his exit. Such a fun and engaging character, and I think Lukas Britschgi, one of the most popular skaters in the changing room, just bringing good energy to all of the competitors as we see that opening quad toe, triple toe combination. Couldn't manage to back it up with a second quad toe, but both the triple axels were good. Here, the first with 2 double axels, and it's important for the judges in regards to the grade of execution that they maintain speed throughout a sequence or jump combo, and he did just that as we see 2 level features achieved with a change of edge. There, the second axel. Look at the pop. Interesting use of his left arm as he drives up to elevate on takeoffs to generate the height. Lukas, such a favourite in the gala exhibition performances, and he achieved a dream of his really to be part of the Art on Ice popular show within Europe, becoming a cast member this past season, and he's signed up already to do that again next year, irrespective of what happens in the competitive arena for him, because he's just such a good entertainer.
Lukas Britschgi.
So it was 135.85 2 weeks ago, 30 points higher 2 weeks later.
Which is the new season's best. His total competition score is 240.
So improvements being made, but Lukas does on this occasion drop under Daniel Grassl, who continues to move towards trying to repeat as a medalist on the Grand Prix Series this year.
On the ice, representing Japan, Sota Yamamoto.
And now to Sota Yamamoto. He told choreographer Laurie Nickel that he loves beautiful melodies and spectacularly uplifting music. And so she and one of her many marathon music researchers found this piece, Melting and the Dream of Flight. Triple loop to open. Just a hand down on the first of the quad jumps, Selevko. No such problem with the quad toe, triple toe combination. And over 15 points added in that one jumping pass. Lovely change of edge within the spread eagle. Triple axel, which eluded him yesterday, again problematic today. Japan's Sota Yamamoto taking a big deep breath before acknowledging the audience here who the Japanese skaters seem so particularly appreciative of. Many fans from Japan coming to support their favourite skaters. And Sota, after the short program, just acknowledging how wonderful it was to see those signs being waved in support of him as he competes on the Grand Prix again. Has he done enough? He was third in both the short program and the free skate at Skate Canada almost a month ago, but that wasn't enough overall to attain the bronze medal. He was fourth, just 3 points behind Junwon Cha, who's, of course, unfortunately had to withdraw from this event. On that occasion, the triple axels were more comfortable for Sota Yamamoto, but he fell on the second quad toe. So to see how the comparison lies between the performances, and of course, with what is yet to come, with the top three left still to compete. And actually that quad sacco may have a rotation issue as we see the quad toe and the triple toe. And amazingly, I saw online a video montage of the quad toe triple toes that he performed in practice at Skate Canada, whereby he did an abundance of them, showcasing such consistency. But in terms of consistency, the triple axel has not been that for him this week, mistaking the short program and there again in today's free skate. But managed to avoid touching down with the right hand on the landing of the second quad toe, which was the problem element in Halifax. And as with Lukas Britschgi talking about the skaters' popularity in exhibition gala performances, Sota took part in Gaccio Spettacolo's Japanese Dreams on Ice Gala in Italy. And you can really see all the show performances for the Japanese skaters helping to inspire them to better presentation and extroverted expression.
The scores, please.
As they push their components higher.
Sota
You see the cushion in the back of shot showcasing the fans that he has.
The free skating 167.48
So
points.
it's almost 3 points higher than in Halifax. It was 3 points that he was off the podium in Canada, at Skate Canada.
Thank you.
But it's going to be difficult to contend for a medal now as he continues to drop in the standings behind Daniel Grassl, who keeps moving up.
Next to skate represents France, Kevin Aymoz.
Well, the sound of the audience in Helsinki, Finland could be mistaken for thinking that the next skater was representing the home nation of Finland. So popular. Kevin Aymoz skating to Van Gogh. Winning already in terms of class and skating skill. Manages to cling onto the landing of the second quad toe. choreographic range is just so brilliant, testament to why he's now being employed by other skaters to choreograph their programs. It's a brilliant entry into the triple toe Euler, triple salchow. Well, it wasn't the perfect skate that we saw in Texas at Skate America, but Kevin Aymoz just incites emotion from the audience and the viewer unlike any other. Such an incredibly passionate skater, arguably one of the most passionate skaters globally, and the transitional content, epic, as is his ability to spot the camera there.
Trop bien. Attends, t'es en blanche alors je suis en vert.
C'est pas grave, je suis fière de toi. Bravo. And the guards are the one anymore.
Here, what's so heartwarming and encouraging is to see that that opening mistake didn't pave the way for a derailment for Kevin Aymoz. Down on the first quad toe, and although not comfortable in the second quad toe, has a smile on his face and acknowledging that it wasn't going to be a catalogue of disasters, which we have seen as long-time coach Silvia Fontana passionately encourages him. Triple axel, at this point in time, still a little tight early in the program. He appeared to relax ever more as the program progressed. Interestingly, Kevin has one of the biggest score differences event from event. He had over 106 points different between his points at the French Masters event to then that sublime free skate at Skate America, which is why it's always a little bit nerve-wracking to watch a skater who can be so variable in what he outputs. But this is demonstrating some consistency, and he says it's because he's skating for himself. And Coach Silvia, who said she loves him like a son, said he is finding his centre in skating and in life. He's now spending some of his time training alone in Lausanne, living with his boyfriend, who incidentally was here to support him, and he said that made him a little nervous yesterday, having his boyfriend in the audience. But I'm sure he'll be very proud, and we wait to see now. He needs 173.43 to stay ahead of Grassl. The components incomparable, but Daniel did deliver 3 different quadruple jumps and 2 triple axels.
Kevin Aymoz from France has earned in the free skating 174.02 points. His total competition score is
we wait to see. Is it enough? Francois Bonnard spotted it first. by just over a point. The chances of a Grand Prix final in his home rink in Grenoble very much alive.
Next skater is from Japan, Kazuki Tomono.
And now to Kazuki Tomono. The music Butterfly and I Need You by John Baptiste. And Kazuki, a talented artist with many facets to his personality, both on and off the ice. And wants to showcase that in this complex and intricate choreography.
Butterfly all alone, but can you fly on your own? Take your place in the world today.
Massive open and quadruple toe loop in combination with a double toe loop.
Stay a while here with me, underneath the stars. When you go,
And another quad toe, such drive through with the right leg on takeoff.
'cause you know who you are, you butterfly.
Just doubling the salto.
You see, I'm howling at the moon, day and night. They say I'm as crazy as a moon, but I'm alright, all dressed in white. Butterfly in the air, butterfly flying home.
How costly will these mistakes be for Kazuki as he singles the second triple axel? The attention to detail, brilliant even within the spins. I may have jinxed him a little there with the final spin for Kazuki Tomono, just struggling with features and quality.
Kazuki Tomono.
Kazuki Tomono. Great program. And as I said, his choreographer acknowledging that he has so many different facets to his performance ability. And with this, the piece of music Butterfly, they wanted to show that a chrysalis transforms into a butterfly of different colors and the importance of color and vibrancy in life. And this performance showcased the different tempos that he's able to tap into. I particularly love and appreciate the latter part of the program, which is the effusive performer that we're used to seeing from Kazuki, particularly in the galas. But as he struggles to return from injury, it's going to be difficult for him to stay in contention for a medal, as was the case in France. Opening was good, quad toe, double toe there. And the success continued with the second quad toe. But this is where things started to unravel a little bit. And he said that he's maybe 80 to 90% physically healthy and well. And that probably what paved the way for the mistakes laterally, as his peak conditioning wasn't there. No such issues with the triple flip into the double axel. But in France, he was in podium contention with a third place after the short program there, but a sixth place free skate pulled him down to fifth.
Butterfly flying home.
Now what's going to happen for Kazuki? He had 148 points in the free skate in Angers 2 weeks ago, but he needs 168 to take the lead, and indeed if he's to maintain a podium place he needs 167, which I think he probably appreciates at this stage. The mistakes made make that
has earned
improbable.
in the free skating
147.63.
His total competition score is
solid component score of 82, but too many mistakes on the tech score,
in the fifth place.
dragging him down again. But hopefully a clean bill of health now for Kazuki as he heads towards the very important Japanese nationals at Christmas time.
On the ice, representing Japan, Yuma Kagiyama.
Yuma Kagiyama takes it to the ice. He leads by a huge margin above the other competitors. And we wish him all the very best in skating cleanly here. But irrespective of what happens with the jumping passes, please take note of the wondrous knee action that he has, such quality in his skating skill. Opening quad flip, which he fell on last week. Pops this week. Best jumping pass so far, quad toe, triple toe. And probably a sigh of disappointment for the 21-year-old from Yokohama, Yuma Kagiyama.
Yuma Kagiyama.
So much support garnered over the last Olympic cycle, the past 4 years, where he has showcased such quality. Taught by his father, a former Olympian back in 1994. And he has instilled in his son a quality that will still help him to stay competitive despite the mistakes on the tech score. And it just begs the question, perhaps participation in back-to-back events too challenging as Karolina Kostner greets him ringside. And you wonder the rationale behind the back-to-back events. There was the attempted quad flip last week, as I mentioned. He had a mistake on it. His quad salto is probably the best in the world. It's on occasion worthy of the maximum grade of execution, but that premature step out forces it to have a negative grade of execution despite the takeoff technique and quality. Look at the sponginess in which his knees absorb the landings. And again, there you can just see slightly off axis, not perhaps having the sharpness that he would be used to had he not had such a travel between the event in Tokyo last week to this. So again, observe the ankle and knee bend. Ooh, it's just textbook quality. Karolina, who has experienced so much herself as a competitor, giving him not only additional quality in terms of program components and presentation and composition, but also an empathic understanding of the pressure of being a front-running contender at every event. And so thus the disappointment of that skate we put into context in a bigger picture, as I'm sure the 2026 Olympic Winter Games are the long-term focus for Yuma. So, courtesy of the big short program score, he only needs 155 points as we sense a fire alarm going off in the building.
Yuma Kagiyama from Japan has earned in the free skating 159.12.
So it's fifth on the free skate for Yuma Kagiyama. But as the men are menning and results continue to chop and change, that's not enough to derail him from back-to-back titles on the Grand Prix Series 2024. Yuma Kagiyama secures his spot with 30 points on the Grand Prix Series at the final in France. Now, there the confirmation that Kevin Aymoz likely to join him. She will have 2 silvers and 26 points.
Don't go anywhere. We have the winner's interview next.
So despite the sound of the fire alarm, the ground announcer just telling everybody not to go anywhere because we'll hear from Yuma Kagiyama, the winner at this event, and their confirmation of the withdrawal of Junwan Cha, and we send all our very best wishes to him and sincere hopes that we'll get to see him compete again as the season progresses. Well, that concludes the first event of the day, and we look forward to seeing the conclusion of the women's event with the women's free skate coming up next. And then finally today it will be the turn of the ice dancers to start their campaigns in the rhythm dance. But first, chance to chat with Yuma Kagiyama, the winner at the Finlandia Trophy.
Yuma Kagiyama, congratulations. Please tell Finland, how do you feel? 勝利おめでとうございます。まず、ご感想を聞かせてくださいませ。
結果よりも悔しいっていう思いの方がすごく強くて、今シーズンで一番ちょっと悪いフリーの出来だったので、そこが最終滑走としてちょっと かじるような演技をしてしまって皆さんにも自分自身にもちょっと申し訳ない気持ちです。
More than the feeling of being happy, I have regrets of how I skated in my free skating. I think it may have been the worst program that I have done this season, and I regret not having been able to bring my best to you all here today. Well, on a positive note, maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you feel here in Finland, Helsinki, your thoughts. フィンランドに関して、またヘルシンキにいるこのご滞在されている間のご感想をお聞かせください。
本当にヘルシンキの今回見に来てくださるお客さんがすごく温かくて、本当に、今回ミスがありながらも本当にたくさんの応援のおかげで最後まで諦めずに滑り切ることができたので、本当に今日は皆様のご声援が僕のフリーを助けてくださったので本当に感謝しています。
Well, being here in Finland, I have to say that the audience is always warm, and I was able to finish my free program thanks to the support the audience provided me with today. So I'd like to say thank you. Congratulations again. 本当におめでとうございます。お疲れ様でした。
ありがとうございました。
As ever, gracious and grateful.
Kiitos haastattelusta.
Yuma Kagiyama thanking the audience for the support they have given, despite that being one of his weakest performances of his free skate this season.
Men's competition winner Yuma Kagiyama. No niin, ja tähän todella päättyy miesten vapailukilpailu. Ja sitten seuraavaksi.
And there the ice being prepared in readiness for the next event as we look back at the top three from the event in the men's. Daniel Grassl, second last week, third this week. Will he take one of the spots as the maths are to be calculated as to which of the top 6 skaters will compete in Grenoble, France? We still have one event left on the Grand Prix series before those 6 spaces are decided. Kevin Aymoz takes another silver and 13 more points, thus delighting both coach Silvia Fontana and himself, and his skating just sublimely beautiful, as are the innovative choices of choreography that he has. But the title belongs to Yuma Kagiyama, confirming 2 of last week's medalists on the podium again as he takes back-to-back titles. And now I'm sure he will return to the training rink full of passion and eagerness to improve towards the final. Congratulations to all of the men, and we look forward now shortly to the start of the women's free skate to see if Hana Yoshida, the leader after the short program, can take her first Grand Prix title.